Welcome back to the Finance Magnet podcast. If you're involved in the prop trading, recent events have been a very shaky one. Everything kicked off, of course, starting February 14, when one of the well-known trader funding companies suddenly stopped trading and services for all traders. This happened after MetaQuotes unexpected unannounced decision to target prop trading companies that use MT4 and MT5, causing, of course, a lot of uncertainty for traders and prop firms. Today, I'm joined by Rubin. He's a head of Axi Select to shed a light into this issue. We will also look at Finance Magnet detailed article that is being published a couple of days ago. Propaganda: is your prop firm still online? To keep you all updated with the fast changes, together we will go over the problem, the rush to find other option, and the challenges plus the opportunities for the prop trading world. Now, let us welcome our special guest, Craig, Head of Axi Select. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Ramsey, for having me. It's a pleasure to be on your podcast.
Before we get into our discussion today, could you please introduce yourself to our listener? Tell us about yourself, about your background, your current role, and Axi Select.
Sure. I'm the head of the Axi Select program. For your listeners who might not be familiar with Axi Select, it's an all-inclusive capital allocation program. It's built of a completely different model to the other prop firms or to anything else that's out there in the industry. Something that we're really proud of what we've created, and I look forward to speaking about it in more detail as we go through. A bit about myself: I actually started my career in 2007 as a prop trader. So back then, there certainly wasn't certainly different to the whole prop industry as it is today.
Yeah, it was a complete different industry. The whole process is changed now. It's more easier.
Exactly. It wasn't available for anyone, everybody. You had to go work for a firm. It was to this day, throughout my career, still the hardest interview process I ever had. Very different to today, where it's open up to the public and you could sit at home and become a professional trader. So yeah, it's crazy, the growth of this industry, and yeah, very, very interesting to be back and working where it all started.
Absolutely, Greg. In our off-air conversation, I found myself nodding along to your insight about how much the prop trading industry has changed. It is clear that what used to be a very tough environment has now become a dynamic and fast-changing field. Thinking back on those enlightening talks, I want to start by unpacking the situation. Could you give our listener a brief summary of what happened in the prop trading world? It seems like a lot of ground has been shifted very quickly.
Sure. Well, there's quite a lot going on, as you say, and it's an incredibly fast moving at the minute, with sort of new headlines coming out daily and multiple headlines. But let's sort of take what we know or what's come out. And I want to sort of not start in recent events. I want to start in the last couple of years, when if you look at the prop industry, it started out with a few firms sort of offering very similar models. And in the last year, we saw an explosion of new firms come into the space, I believe north of 300. And at the same time, a lot of them were assisted by the tech providers that came into the space that helped look after the back office and the admin side, and basically allowed a very easy barrier for entry. And we just saw a space absolutely explode in the last year. And things were sort of tracking along until September last year, where the first major headline came out with the CFDC shutting down MFF. And at the time, that was sort of trying to figure out what's going on, or why they're shutting them down. Are they going to come back? What's the actual situation? And we saw these prop firms sort of change their marketing, their messaging, to sort of simulated or virtual, to move away from the sense, because we know the model in question, or the standard model, is a demo, model, account model with a registration fee. And we saw a lot of the literature changing. And fast forward to a few weeks ago, where, as you mentioned in your intro, MetaQuotes came up with a big announcement. When I woke up to the morning, this big announcement: MetaQuotes looking to withdraw or pull out of the prop firm space. Now, I know MetaQuotes, or MetaTrader, the platform, is the the main platform in the prop industry, as well as for retail brokers. So it's quite a big story for them to come out and look to be withdrawing or looking to have a crackdown. And it's important to understand why, or what sort of their reasons behind it. And the important part to understand is CFDs are banned in the US. And we have something called gray labeling. So the process, or the companies involved, you've got the prop firm who use brokers, and then they ultimately use their brokers' MetaQuote license to trade on the MetaQuote platform, the MetaTrader platform. And ultimately, MetaQuotes has no visibility of these clients. So what seems
Can
to
I
be...
just jump on something here, because I
Sure.
understand, MetaQuote position on banning this trading power, but I'm quoting here a couple of press releases that we gathered very recently, that most of these firms, they claim that they have been completely transparent with everyone, and they have been completely transparent with MetaQuote about the way they operate and how this is operated. So why now this MetaQuote decided, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead unexpectedly, as multiple sources has told us, they just decided out of nowhere, like they didn't even inform their clients.
So there are many ways to look at this. And again, as you say, it's what we read in the headlines. We don't know any of this to be factual. But what we do know as fact was a year or so ago, MetaQuote was removed from the Apple Play Store. Mm-hmm. And we don't know why or how, but we certainly know that MetaQuotes, their main business is being the head of the retail platform for the whole retail market, the normal standard brokerage business. So when you look at what's happened with the visibility of these clients, the US regulators can't go after these prop firms per se, because most of them are not registered in the US. So if they are onboarding US clients, if MetaQuote stops taking them, ultimately, as you know, MetaQuote is the main platform. It's a way of stopping US clients trading with CFDs. Now you've got to understand MetaQuote's position. It's demo accounts. Again, I don't know the exact upside, but naturally there's no real account, real fees. So their upside is taking on clients, allowing them to trade on their platform, who they have no visibility over. So the risks are pretty high for what looks like limited upside. So I'm not surprised if they're getting any pressure from a regulatory perspective for them to be pulling back and out of this space.
So, but jumping to the next question, I think we should go to the heart of the issues and just address it. Is this sudden wave of the closures is primarily to a regulatory issues, or maybe there is some other factor that's fueling this disruption? And
so that,
as we say, the thing is clear.
What we know is that the US regulators, that CFDs are banned in the US, and there's concern that through the current system, this gray labeling, that they can't control. So the safest play for MetaQuotes in this instance is to basically look to remove any broker that ultimately is involved in the prop space, to remove any possibility of them taking on US clients. And this, if we fast forward, what's happened is Friday a week, we saw 8cap announce that they're looking to remove themselves from the situation. Now, 8cap have been one of the biggest brokers in the space, and ultimately their main core business is the normal brokerage activities, and they rely heavily on MetaQuotes. So we've got a situation now where brokers who want to remain offering MetaQuotes to their clients are under pressure not to offer their services to the prop firm. So now we've got a situation where prop firms are looking for new brokers, and you've got prop firms who are looking for new platform providers. And this is where we're at right now, where the story is evolving, is we've got firms that are shut or halted or stuck because they don't have a broker or they don't have a platform provider. Are other firms going to step up? There are rumors that other brokers are looking to take over, but if they do take over, is it only a matter of time till they have regulatory issues or till they get caught? Would they even want to take over the space with what's going on, knowing the sort of issues or where we're at with MetaQuotes? So for me, for MetaQuotes to pull out and for one of the biggest brokers in the space just to look to withdraw, it certainly is creating a lot of uncertainty. And that's where we're at today.
Again, I'm referring here at the table that we publish on Finance Magnet, where we list a lot of those prop trading firms. And I see so far there is as many as, I would say, 60-70% of these prop firm tradings, they have no service, no platform, and for both US clients and non-US clients, which bring me to a question. As a trader, if I from the industry, I am wondering, and I'm guessing there is many who's listening to this podcast is also wondering, this is the way we're going to say, you know what, this is the end of traditional prop firm model? And if that is the case, what might be the future hold for the capital allocation for the whole trading program?
Yeah, it's a great question. And honestly, it's too soon to answer that. And what I mean by that is we have a situation now where these prop firms are scrambling to find out which brokers and which service providers they can use. Now, it is possible that we could see the status quo and the same model continue. But even if it is to be the case, what we do know it's likely to happen without MetaQuotes, who are the absolute face of the industry. With MetaQuotes looking to withdraw, don't forget a lot of the platforms electronic, a lot of the trading, is automated or with EAs, and which we know MetaQuotes thrives in. So a lot of these new platforms are going to be very different. They're going to be completely different look and feel to the traders. Are they likely to follow them? I don't know. Especially when you look at this landscape, you've seen a few brokers into recently. Of course, Axi Select, we were the first broker to enter in the space, offering a totally different program with a completely different model that uses live accounts and isn't caught up in this sort of drama that's happening. So what I do know is it's going to most certainly look different. For the industry as a whole, I certainly don't see this as the end. There's too much interest from traders, from all the tech providers that have entered. It is certainly a great opportunity and potential for clients, but certainly that depends on how it's structured. And with the current model and the current setup, I'm not so sure it is sustainable. I do think we could see it different, but we'll find out more in the next few weeks.
So what's next? Based on your experience, your guidance, or if you want to give any advice, what next in this situation?
It's very difficult. I guess the one quote that comes to my head is hope for the best, but plan for the worst. Is it possible that these firms are never going to come back and because they can't find a broker or they can't find a platform provider? Yes. Is it possible that, I know there've been a few touted that companies are going to pick up the slack and it's going to be open for a short period of time before they shut down again? Yes. Is it possible that everything is smooth and the industry runs with different brokers, different platform providers, and MetaQuote just missed out? Possible. So we don't know how this is going to play out. But what I can say is this should be an eye-opener. If you have a funded account and you are owed money and it comes back online because of, you've got a different broker, different platform provider, perhaps it's worth taking the profits and sitting, taking the money out and sitting on the sidelines until it reassesses. One needs to understand the risks here. This is certainly a moving situation, but clearly heightened by the fact that it is possible these firms do get back up and running, but how long they last, I'm not so sure.
I want to quote a tweet here that is just being posted. We are not going anywhere, and every payout will be processed once we are back on. Even though the situation is not our fault, and we did everything we could to migrate as soon as this happened, we will still compensate for every lost trade because you are family to us.
Again, it's possible that could be the case, but to treat that as gospel, I think would be quite naive. Not because, and again, I don't know which firm has quoted this, but quite simply because I think it's not a lot of it's not in firms' hands. Us being Axi and Axi Select, we are our own broker. We don't have to worry about third-party brokers. In this instance, these prop firms have made these quotes. They're relying on what's going to happen with the other brokers, what's going to happen with the platform providers. So I don't think it's in their control. If, especially for US clients, that seems a lot more difficult, separating the US to UK, US to the rest of the world. But certainly, I don't think anybody can make such statements confidently now
It is more like
based.
a statement for a client calming down the storms rather than I agree here. Keeping this promise is going to be harder than
Sorry, Ryan, not to interrupt there, but I am hearing stories that there are a couple brokers who are looking to take the slack. Again, if that's true, I don't know. If that lasts, I don't know. If clients will even accept using new platforms. There's a lot of questions, and I think it's too early for anybody to assume. But I think it's a very big positive. If some firm, again, I don't know which firm came up with that quote, is saying that we're going to make sure clients are looked after, I think that could be a positive. But I don't quite know if prop firms have the full control of the situation at the moment.
Amazing, but I want actually now we shift to our conversation to Axi Select. I understand you guys had launched it a few months ago. How does it sell? You know, like you set yourself apart from the prop firms that are obviously facing these challenges that's happening with MetaQuotes. What is your unique angle in this? It is still evolving market, but it is a strong market.
So Axi Select is completely different to what is out there in the marketplace. We were the first to create this model, and we built it off the back of using our size. You know, as I sort of mentioned in the last question, that we are a broker, and we set up using our size as a broker to create a model that we believe gives traders a very realistic opportunity to forge professional careers without looking to set up a demo account registration fee model. So looking at it at the actual Axi Select model, we do not charge a registration fee. So Axi Select is 100% free to join. What we do require, and we also don't have an evaluation stage. There's no evaluation. You have to pay a registration fee to pass. What we do require is clients to deposit their own funds into an Axi Select account, and we then open up an account, the allocation account, that trades alongside the Axi Select account with our funds in it. These funds are the client funds. They can withdraw them at any point in time. And that is one massive difference that we do offer. We also offer 3 attempts instead of 1. We understand that trading is difficult, that you can have a bad week, a bad spell. So we're not looking to send hard breaches and kick clients off the program. We give them 3 attempts at the program. Big difference, as we mentioned, is all Axi Select accounts are live trading accounts. We do not use any demo accounts. We offer clients the exact same account that we use for our Axi business. So clients can choose if they want a standard account or if they want a pro account. And the real life trading experience is exactly like our Axi clients get. So big difference that we don't use the demo model. We use a live account. If somebody asks me what is Axi Select, I always say it's an all-inclusive capital allocation program, because yes, we provide funding and very generous funding, 90% clients can keep at the top end of $1 million. But we also pride ourselves in providing tools that clients need to assist them in their trading journey. So we have a dashboard, a leaderboard, an edge score, which assists the traders to improve their trading. We have a live trading room with professional traders in the trading room who you can interact with. So we've created more than a funding program. We've created a structure for clients to assist them and improve on their trading whilst getting our funding at the same time.
Okay, is this the timing of Axi Select actually came as a response to these changes that we see, or it was pre-planned alternative to the prop firm model?
It was pre-planned. As I said, when I joined Axi Select, when I joined Axi, it was because I knew there was such a big opportunity in the space. I knew the space was improving. I also wasn't, and if I'm being perfectly honest, still not a fan of this current industry standard charge registration fee model. A simple Google, I don't need to tell you the stats, but simple Google can tell you what percentage of traders actually pass these evaluations, and what percentage actually do pass the evaluations actually remain on the program for more than a month or 2. So I didn't like this model. I wanted to create a model, again, using the size of our broker, which I believe gave traders a more realistic opportunity of generating profits and sustaining careers. So I think what's important with that and with our model is to realize is that we don't pretend trading is easy. We don't say you're going to get $1 million of our funds. We know it's difficult. But what we do is we give you the tools and the assistance that you need to improve and to assist you on your journey. So we don't say trade for 10 days, get access to $200,000. Because naturally, if you've been trading for 10 days, you place 5 good trades, you don't deserve $200,000 of our funds. We're actually giving you this money of our money. We make sure that you can trade properly and you have the right skill to manage such large amounts of money. So we've created a very different program and a structure, one that is slower by nature of it. We want to make sure that you are a good trader, and the better trader you are, the more funds of ours that you get to manage, but also one that focuses on creating good trading habits and not gambling habits or trying to place big trades to get large funding quickly.
I'm one of those, I'm going to be speaking on behalf of the listeners. I will be looking for stabilities in this case. Of course, there's a dozen of traders out there. They're just watching what's happening and they're trying to, figure out where to go and what is the informed choice that they can make when proceeding with their trading. And does in this case, considering Axi Select, how smooth is the transition, and could you maybe help us walk through the whole process?
Sure. I think we need to split this up. I think physically the process is very easy. Clients can quite simply log onto the Axi website, sign up for an Axi Select account, and once the client has an Axi Select account opened up, it's just like any other broker account, and the rest is all automated. And it's very easy for clients to join. It's just signing up, and the rest of the automation process takes the client through it very simply. The harder part, or where it's difficult, is the mental side of transitioning to Axi Select. And I think this is very important. It's a lot of people in the prop space, they only understand the current prop firm model, pay a registration fee for a demo account, and hopefully after X amount of times qualify, and then, as we sort of already covered, I don't want to go over sort of that side again, rather focus on the Axi Select side.
Yeah.
Mentally, one needs to understand that Axi Select is free to join. We don't charge a registration fee. Okay, you do need to put your own funds in, but the actual structure is completely different. One of my biggest annoyances, should I say, is when I see on forums or when I speak to non-Axi Select traders or prop firm traders, they try to pigeonhole Axi Select into one of the current model, where they'll be, well, Axi Select is basically a 100 grand program where you can earn 50%. And it's just a complete understanding of what Axi Select really is, because Axi Select is a complete alternative. It's a completely different model to what exists, one that actually gives clients a much more realistic opportunity, in my opinion, of generating profits, because there are much less rules. There's no registration fee. There's no restrictive trading conditions in terms of, criteria to jump through. The two levels of make 5% to advance to the next level with other criteria, lose 10%. So even that's 2-to-1 in the client's favor, in the trader's favor in that sense. So one needs to get their head around that we are different. We are not trying to emulate the prop firm model. We believe we've created a better model, but naturally, because of the way it's done, because it's geared toward professional trading, it is going to take longer before you can manage larger amounts of sums. I actually had a chat with a hedge fund manager last week explaining the Axi Select program. He's not familiar with the whole prop industry as a whole. And I said that, after 6 months, you could be managing $200,000 of our money. And he was, even after a few more months, you could be managing up to $1 million. He's like, that's crazy. And I said, yes, the industry thinks they might be too slow because of the other offers, which, again, we know the results or what percentage of traders actually manage these sums of money. So it's that perception that I think is very important, that we're trying to get to the marketplace, especially now with all the news and the regulatory issues, which we obviously, of course, are not part of. It's very important to mentally understand we are not the same as the other models. We are not trying to be. We are very different alternative that we offer.
Okay, I want to actually move on to more specifics for your potential traders. Sure. One of the key aspects, of course, it will be the capital they can access with Axi Select. Maybe could you give us a better understanding and give us some details on the range of or the type of capital available for traders within Axi Select?
Sure. So we have 6 stages on the Axi Select program. The first stage is called Seed, where clients have to deposit a minimum of $500 into their own Axi Select account. And we create an allocation account with $5,000 in. and depending on the funds that the client put in, the trades are copied at a certain multiplier. So if a client puts in $500 and we give them $5,000, every time they place a trade in their Axi Select account, we'll copy it at 10 to 1. If the client puts in $1,000, we put in $5,000, trades will be copied at 5 to 1. So clients have the option of choosing their multiplier on what they want their trades to be copied. So at the seed stage, we don't actually pay out a percentage profit, but we do give access to the trading room and to the dashboard and the leaderboard. The next stage is the incubation stage, where we offer funding up to $20,000 of our funds, and clients can keep 40% of that. And we then have the acceleration stage, which is $100,000 of our funds. And then we have the pro stage, which is $200,000. The Pro 500 stage, which is $500,000, and then the Pro M, where we give clients $1 million of our funds, and they're entitled to keep 90% of the profits.
There's a place I can access this information?
Yes, on our website, in our client portal.
Of course.
Yes, we have a pathway which sort of explains or sort of shows all of this in tabular form.
I have to ask this question. Axi Select does seems like a good option for our traders, for your traders, and who especially looking for capital allocation program. But the question will be, how confident are you with Axi Select, and that it will not experience the same fate like we see now with the prop firms?
So we're very confident in our program, in the Axi Select program, and what we've created and how we've created it. With regards to the regulatory side, or how confident we won't be caught up in it, well, let's look at the two major things that we believe to be the issues. One is accepting US clients, which Axi as a company does not. So we do not have any access, or we do not look to onboard any US clients at all. And the other one is looking with MetaQuotes and with some of the brokers potentially leaving the space. Well, we are our own broker. We don't use another broker. So we're confident we're not going to have any scrambling for brokers. And Axi's been around for 16 years, uses MetaQuotes for their core business. So Axi Select, we're pretty confident in the sense we look through those angles that we are going to maintain our live trading account using MetaQuotes and using ourselves as the broker.
And since its launch, what kind of growth you guys have been witnessing and interest have you saw with the Axi Select program?
So to be honest with you, it's been incredible. It's been much more than we anticipated since we start, the interest and the clients joining. What's equally as pleasing for myself personally as head of the program has been the responses or the feedback that we've got from the program, from clients on the program. It's been resounding positive experience. And for us, we create something that's totally revolutionary, something that's totally different, it doesn't exist in the marketplace. You never know what the reaction is going to be. But I am happy to say it has been incredibly positive so far. So it's pretty humbling, but we're now trying to make sure that we get the message across to the wider audience that there are alternatives out there. And we're very proud of this being the right method in terms of traders and sustainability.
Amazing. Greg Rubin, Head of Axi Select, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
And of course, a big thank you to everyone for tuning in today. Remember, navigating the financial market is a journey filled with challenges, but also great rewards. So make sure to stay ahead with the latest news, tips, analysis, and updates by visiting financemagnates.com, your go-to B2B finance news platform. In today's episode, we've seen how, in the ever-evolving world of prop trading, being knowledgeable about the industries, adapting to changes, and seizing opportunities are key to achieve success. Until we reconnect, keep yourself informed. Signing off, this is Ramsey, your guide and Head of Growth and Marketing at Finance Magnates Group. Looking forward to our next session. Till then, take care and keep listening.
The Axi Select program is only available to clients of AxiTrader Limited. CFDs carry a high risk of investment loss. In our dealings with you, we will act as a principal counterparty to all of your positions. This content is not available for Australia, New Zealand, European Union, and United Kingdom residents. For more information, refer to our terms of service. Standard trading fees apply. This content is provided solely for general informational purposes and should not be construed as financial product advice or an investment recommendation. It has been prepared without considering your personal circumstances.